It's Laurie Daly who takes the Raiders out in front of his home fans. And this Canberra side, they've been involved in some thrilling matches over the past fortnight. 2-point victories, or a 2-point victory last week over Newcastle, and that man David Furner was the man who landed the match-winning conversion. That's their lineup for today. Mullins, Appo comes into the side for Nagus, Boyle, Wiki, Nandruku. The halves, Daly and Ferris. The forwards, Kennedy, Furner, Hetherington, DeVico, Walters and Wesley into this side for the suspended Quentin Pongia. Tim Sheens, of course, the Canberra coach. And now the Cronulla Sharks, Andrew Ettinghausen, sidelined through injury last Saturday night in their victory over the Bulldogs. But back today, and a key man in this Sharks lineup, who have what could only be described as a terrible record here at Bruce Stadium. Their side for today, Peachy, Rogers, Ettinghausen, Bateman, Barnett, Healy and Green the halves. The forwards, Nikau, Long, Greenhill, Davidson, Treaster and Lee. Coach of the Cronulla Sharks is John Lang. Referee today, Paul McBlain. And for this first half of football, Mitch Healy kicking off. Cronulla left to right, the lime green of the Canberra jumpers. And it's Hetherington with the first hit up. And Long was the player coming over the top. Now 8 metres out from the Canberra line, Treaster. This is Green with a step. He dummies and goes himself. Paul Green has scored for the Sharks. The little number 7 has made something out of nothing.
And 23 betting tickets just got ripped up here by Vossi and Snorky.
No.
But a great run by Paul Green. It's been all Cronulla so far in the match. It's a dummy inside. Once again, the slippery conditions here. Players missing tackles, falling over. I think Ben Kennedy missed him. He was one, and there was another involved as well. But a great run by Green.
Last year's Rothmans medalist, of course. Great player. In fact, I don't think he's missed a match since his debut game, which is something like in the high 70s ago. So he's very durable as well as talented, and really the spark to much of this Cronulla attack. Tremendous footwork.
Competition's leading try scorer, Noah Nandruku. Ferris with Daly, on for Furner. Furner's through the tackle of Healy, then floats the pass for Appo. The cover is coming at Appo, it's Ettinghausen. Throws it inside, that's play on for Boyle. It's come off the hand of Peachy, and Canberra have scored. My only concern is, did Appo propel the ball forward in passing the football? It's 6-4 to the Sharks.
And they've had a lot of possession in the last couple of minutes, Canberra, and that's when they're at their most dangerous. Laurie Daly throwing the ball to Furner. He's able to get to his feet. If he frees play there, you can see that Matt Rogers is coming off the wing, and that allows Appo some space down the outside. Play continues. Appo carrying the ball in the left hand. He appears to be covered by Ettinghausen. Pretty poor positional play from the fullback from Cronulla, I thought. Ettinghausen had the winger covered. He should have stayed with the inside support.
Well, one thing he did do very well here, Appo, is keep Andrew Ettinghausen at bay while he prepared to throw this pass, a one-hander. But it's a good fend he puts on ET. Just holds him off for long enough to get rid of this one-hander. Peachy gets his hand in the way, taps it forward, play on. And away goes Boyle.
And David Boyle, the man who scores, he's not one of their headline players, but a very valuable player all the same in this Canberra lineup. The spot fires are happening out there in the defensive line. Cronulla could be looking at more points now. Green. Mullins came up with a try saver, still on for the Sharks. Peachy into the end goal. This will be a try to the Sharks. No. Have they got there? McBlain is going to award it to Peachy. Oh, that was a photo finish.
Well, amazing football from Cronulla, and it is uncharacteristic style of play. Paul Green threw the dummy on the last tackle, sliced through. Tremendous front-on defence from Brett Mullins, but Mitch Healy flicked the ball out the back. Here's Paul Green sizing up his options on the last. Slides through, finds Healy on the outside. Strong stuff, and just as he's going to ground, flicks the ball back. Peachy, beautiful vision there, knowing it was the last now. The question is whether Steve Wallace gets there first. No, no doubt at all. Tremendous work from the fullback.
Yeah, great stuff there from Cronulla. They're down here doing their best, and Peachy comes up with a nice piece of individual work. Good try, this one.
You see Steve Walters coming out of left of screen here, despairing dive. It's a one-handed pressure from David Peachy, only seconds or moments before.
They've been going very well in the lower grades in recent weeks. There's Healy on the last, and here comes another bomb. Mullins getting across. Chases all there. Mullins has missed, and Ettinghausen has scored. Oh, an air raid from the Cronulla Sharks. And Ettinghausen, a try-scoring specialist.
A pinpoint bomb here, all the pressure on, and the chase was good. All players onside from that shot. And Andrew Ettinghausen really has great hands, spins out and puts the ball down.
Well, it's a smash-up at this stage. Cronulla all over the Raiders. Their defence is very weak today. The Raiders have already missed 12 tackles.
And now Green with a switch. The Sharks again, they've busted the line. Pierce for Rogers. A stumble, he's still alive. Ettinghausen in support. Ettinghausen on the chase. Oh, this is sensational from the Sharks. Ettinghausen has scored within a tackle of the restart.
And David Boyle, one missed tackle. And straight through Les Davidson, and E.T. gets his second in as many minutes. A very simple move here. David Boyle, complete miss. Good offload from Les Davidson. The stumble here for Matt Rogers, but he stayed out with the sideline. That kept Brett Mullins over with him, and the perfect bounce for Ettinghausen. Beautifully constructed.
Well, it comes back to the defence once again. I mean, here we are just after a restart. I reckon, I'm just wondering if E.T.'s jogging alongside Matt Rogers here. He might have even said to him, what about the kick? And a great skill. He was going to pass it. I reckon E.T. said, listen, put it over. And E.T. was prepared to chase this. He's outpaced Brett Mullins.
I must apologise to Andrew Pearce. In fact, it was Pearce who made the bust, not Les Davidson.
In front, 22-6, and Greenhill has just clipped high. It was a soft swinging arm, if that can be possible, from Hetherington. And Rogers has this kick 38 metres out, 10 metres off centre. The left footer has given another 2 to the Cronulla tally. Good kick from Matt Rogers. 24-6, the Sharks over the Raiders. Good play, the Cronulla hooker, Steve Walters. Offloads for Stone. Then on Wiki. Wiki back for Kennedy. Now there's a trainer in the action. He's actually grabbed hold of one of the Cronulla players. It's Dean Priester. Play continues with the Raiders. Daly along now for Boyle. Boyle on the outside of Ettinghausen, and Boyle goes all the way to score. Well, Cronulla have stood back and watched it.
And I gave a rap to Andrew Ettinghausen's defence. This is the worst decision he's made in a long time. I think he's appealing to his outside player to stay with the outside man, and that he would get Boyle. Boyle gets around him. If he frees play there, you can see that's Ettinghausen. There's a lot of Canberra attacks on the outside, but have a look as play continues now. As Ettinghausen turns, he motions to his fellow defender to stay out on the wing, and then he drops off David Boyle and allows him to score his second.
Yeah, that's funny work there from E.T. First of all, the decoy runner drew him in. It was David Furner as the decoy. He sucked E.T. in, giving Boyle a free run, and then E.T. saying go out to the outside man, but E.T. never had him covered. He was probably hoping that Peachy might be able to get there, not to be, and the Raiders back in the match. Well, that's one of the worst options I've seen. From there, once again, they have the chances. The Raiders go wide. There's some space there through Furner. Through Boyle!
Boyle up over the 40. Peachy is strolling across in cover. Boyle tries to stand up Peachy. Great offload. They keep it alive with Burnham.
And look who saved the try. It was Strauss having a great game.
It comes across with Nandruku. The Cronulla defence at 6s and 7s. It's still coming for Kennedy. He steps. Kennedy 10 metres out from the Sharks line. Les Davidson was the player to make the tackle. Now Ferris. Daly steps. The Cronulla defenders slip. It's back with Ferris. 10 out. Now 5 out. Jason Ferris. Davidson again makes the tackle. Canberra, Walters. From dummy half, Steve Walters is over but can't force it.
And the penalty goes, so no doubt a quick tackle will be taken, but they're looking a lot sharper, the Raiders. And now it's Cronulla, whose defence is under a mile of pressure.
Yeah. Was the sin bin an option then? If McBlain found foul with the Cronulla defence, Daly away for Burnham, inside Furner, Strauss again. Good tackle. The Raiders, Daly probing. He's there to offload, but the Cronulla defence able to hang on. Long and Ettinghausen. Canberra needing a long pass. Walters dummies on the outside. Now offloads. Furner Ferner, 10 out from the line. Ferner holds it up for Burnham. Burnham, centimetres short of the line and has lost it at the end. Knock on from Canberra.
Oh, and they had to score next ruck. They had a 5-man overlap to the right-hand side of the field. It was the worst option you've ever seen at the other end from Adam Dykes, the little kick. And now Cronulla are falling off tackles left, right and centre. They look tired. And the ball just rolls loose.
Stone away. Burnham on, Daly. Daly, Canberra's away with Wiki. Wiki is up to the 40. Supporters with Kennedy. Kennedy, past Peachy. Kennedy still going, down to Wiki. Wiki doesn't get there. Is that a double movement? It's in the hands of Paul McLean and he'll award a try. Scintillating stuff from Canberra, and it's not over yet.
Well, Richard Barnett came up with the tackle on the line, but he came up with the miss at the other end, and it was an awful miss. So go wide. He frees it there. This player here, I know he stayed out with his man, but all it did was open up this enormous hole as play continues. And it looked as though Cronulla might have got out of some trouble here with Peachy able to turn and get the support player, but Ruben Wiki stayed alive. Ben Kennedy stepped out of the Peachy tackle. Here comes Barnett late, but the momentum takes Ruben Wiki over, and that's what's been called by the in-goal touch judge.
Well, a complete lack of communication there between Barnett and Bateman has allowed Wiki just to stroll through a huge yawning gap. They did well, Cronulla, get some bodies there to try and prevent the try, but not enough. Ben Kennedy, a great backer-upper, he gets there, puts a step on, and the ball comes back to Wiki. And this front-on view will tell us whether it was a double movement. It looks okay from the side-on view. What a player Ben Kennedy, had a fantastic game today. Now Barnett makes the last charge. Well,
Andrew Pearce makes the tackle. They pull just that little bit closer. Ferris, long pass. A la Ricky Stewart, Daly, Wesley, great tackle from Craig Greenhill. Big tackle on David Wesley. Last tackle now for Canberra. Daly, the bomb is taken, the chasers are onside. Up goes Barnett and takes it, and that could well seal the match for the Sharks.
oh, what a bottle there from Barnett.
Well, they've kept coming, the Canberra Raiders. DeVico slips a pass off the deck. Ferris, Wiki. The countdown comes from the fans. Wiki puts the kick in. Peachy decides to punt it over the sideline. Out on the full, and that is full time. Cronulla have come to Bruce Stadium with a mission to pick up 2 competition points for the first time in their history, and they've done just that. 24-16 to the Sharks over the Raiders. And some happy Cronulla players on centre screen there. David Peachy, one of their best.